You don't know that.
Per hour.
I feel like there's a pretty big market for that.
There's a market for people too, but I'm not going for that.
I think we're talking about the same market. I could be wrong. You're just carry it away and go for whatever you want, dude.
All right. 3. What's the timer at on your OBS? I'm trying to make it even.
8:30. It just hit 8 minutes and 30 seconds. So.
Okay, I'll just go ahead and start this roughly. 3, 2, 1. All right, everyone. What's up? It's me, Joe Schmo, again. I am back for another round of anime discussion. I am joined by Timmy Jones.
Hey.
I am joined by Kool-Aid, a.k.a. Billy from Base Damage.
Oh, yeah.
And then I am joined by Cam, who belongs to the channel Contains Anime. It's his own channel.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you for having me on the show.
Not a problem, man. I know I said a weird intro, but I mean, he got the point across. So, today... Yeah, exactly. Today, we are here to talk about RPG animes, the good and the bad. So, what I'm talking about is RPG animes. I'm talking about things like Sword Art, like the video game stuff. Sword Art, Konosuba would work, Log Horizon works. Psycho Pass, I would consider under the RPG anime because they have the gaming elements in it. Yes.
Okay.
What gaming elements?
Have you not just...
I have both seasons of Psycho Pass, and I'm trying to think of what gaming elements that thing...
We discussed this in the truck, actually. If the world kind of seems like a game, or that's why Konosuba passes, because it's kind of the fantasy world.
It's literally... You might as well call it, the ghetto D&D team.
That's basically what it is, exactly.
That's pretty much what it is, but it's been generalized and put under that category now. I was doing research, and people put that under the category now.
Right, but if we're talking about Konosuba, it's the main character is transported to a different world, which makes it sort of RPG. But Psychopaths, they just live there.
Yeah, I give Konosuba a full accept on that, and that's fine. But no, Psychopaths, you can't live it. I'm sorry, I'm stopping you right there, Joe Schmo.
To be fair, I haven't watched Psychopaths, so I'm not quite sure if that does pass or not. But I'm assuming no, because.
Look, I didn't want to agree with it either, but I looked everywhere, and they keep putting it under there, but barely. So I just threw it in there.
I'm fine talking about Psychopaths, but
yeah, Psychopaths was not that bad first season. Second season was much to be desired, but that's personal opinion. Anyway, no, next time, check with me or Cam or Tim Simmons and be like, "Hey, is this anime? Is this what this is supposed to be?" And okay, because Wikipedia is not always correct.
I didn't check Wikipedia. Jeez,
I'm sorry.
Give me some props on that.
Okay, but to continue on what you're saying, as far as RPG element, even where Konosuba falls under that. Okay, what other examples do you have that we may or may not disprove?
Jesus. All right, cool. All right. Want to go with that? Well, someone who was in the truck with me at the time said, what about no game, no life?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. I think that totally passes.
I could accept that, yeah.
Okay. The word game is in it, so yeah.
Fucking shit.
Not just that, but yeah.
I'm just going by the isekai anime definition,
Mm.
So...
Then we have the Dot Hack series, Roots and, all that stuff.
All that stuff. GU, Roots.
Yeah, all the Dot Hacks.
All that fun stuff.
Just all that jazz. I'm just going to go ahead and pull up my external hard drive and just going to start just labeling. Just carry on listing stuff, and I'm just going to see what else I can list off for this.
Carry on listing stuff, and you'll carry on listing stuff.
Well, what I want to talk about today is, look, Sword Art's going to be a hot topic because that's what everyone thinks about the RPG
it's the most
world.
common one.
Yeah, exactly. So I want this is going to be the first topic of tonight, is Sword Art. What do you guys think about it? How much do you love it or hate it? I know everyone has different, maybe varying opinions here. So I'll start with the left of my screen, which is Timmy.
Hi.
You're going to go first.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm pretty indifferent to Sword Art, in all honesty. I feel like it was pretty good in the beginning when things mattered, but towards the end, everything kind of stopped mattering, and it was more of this is all about the romance, and it's but the game you're playing, isn't everyone in panic? Nah, no one's in panic. Not when you have love. And it's oh, okay, I guess that passes. But other than that, when it comes to the other Sword Art series, like Sword Art 2, Gun Gale, Alfheim, all that. I kind of enjoyed them because it kind of became more about the game, more about the grind, things like that. I mean, cool. The whole end of life thing got removed, but whatever. It was still about the game compared to just, yeah, we decided to live on the countryside in the midst of turmoil and raise a kid that's not ours. But yeah, I mean, that's basically my opinion of it.
I had a flash to Katawa Shoujo for a second there, and I'm like, what kid did they have? Wait a minute. Wait. No, sorry, brain fart.
Well, Mr. Brain Fart, it's your turn.
My turn? Okay, am I allowed to bring up the visual novel for this?
Sure, why not?
Not visual novel, a light novel.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you meant. So,
okay,
sure,
sorry,
why not?
Brain fart, because, okay, once again...
I mean, you can bring up 16.5. I'll talk about that, too, if we're really...
we can have a whole podcast on just 16.5, because I did read that. No,
I read it, too. It was great.
Okay, so... As the series, I enjoy SAO. The thing is, when it first came out, after I saw the very first episode of the anime, looked up more information about it and found out there was a light novel, found the chapters online, started reading it and going, this shit is out of order. What the hell is going on? And that's where a lot of people have the issue with...
Like, isn't it, though?
Yes.
It's really out of order.
Okay, the first light novel starts at floor 74, which is like episode 8 or 9 in the anime. That is where the first chapter of the first light novel starts at. Is 8 or 9, is like 8, 9. Meaning all the original stuff was side stories that got put in the second volume that came out. So everyone's going, why are they jumping the fuck around? What the fuck is going on here? But it's because they're like, okay, well, it would just be really weird if we started this off exactly like the book. And I'm like, no, that probably would have worked. But they're like, we'll show the chronological order of the events that happened, even if it is side story stuff. And, they're jumping 20 floors at a time. That's where people had the issue but once that happened, everything was chronological as it came out, minus the Excalibur arc that was different. Anyway, even though that was chronological, that was still weird book timing. Anyway, after that, everything went in sync. Everything with Gun Gale, everything with Mother Rosario, that was all in order as it initially was. No jumping around. And that's where people were like, what the hell is going on? So that's where a lot of people had the issue with it. I have no problem with it. I enjoy the series. Like, the short version of that answer is I like the series. But go ahead.
Well, no, you're good, man. I mean, you're good. Okay. So, Cam, it's your turn. What do you think?
Sword Art is kind of a bag of worms with me. For the most part, I agree with Timmy that I'm pretty indifferent about it. I can't say that I'm necessarily an expert because I watched the first 13 episodes or whatever, and it completely lost me at that point. Definitely when we got to the living in a cabin with a child that doesn't belong to us, certainly lost me a little bit. I don't hate it. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I dislike, and I don't want to sound like a hipster, but I dislike how popular it is, not because it's popular, but because I think people could be watching better things, and I just don't know why Sword Art took off of all things. But it's not the worst thing in the world. I don't have a deep hate for it. Maybe a little bit more so related to playing Weiss, but I don't think that should have any any input towards my feelings on the show.
I will say I think it did take off pretty hard because the animation for it, at least in the beginning, was pretty quality. The animation is very good. Really quality. Oh, yeah. And honestly, I got really hyped when I saw Starburst stream.
Is it A1 that does Sword Art?
I think so.
I believe so.
Yeah, because I think at first it was Production IG, but they went off into their own thing, and it was A1 after that.
Okay.
I want to say you're correct on that.
It's definitely a beautiful show. I definitely wouldn't hold that against it.
Check, that won't stop them. Just throwing that out there.
I'm looking for it right now, honestly.
Yeah, you're fine. I'm probably confusing companies.
Yeah, A1 Pictures.
A1. Okay, cool. They had that barbecue sauce, so.
Yep, that good stuff.
When you go from sauce to animating.
They know what they're doing. It's all right.
Apparently so. What else was it?
You're going somewhere with it. I don't know where you're going. You're going somewhere.
I had a thought, and I apologize for just like that again.
You're good.
one of the things Cam said was he didn't know why it took off as much as it did, and I'm still kind of the same. Like, okay, this took off really weird, but one way that it was described to me was the timing in which Reiki Kawahara decided to put this thing out. The talks about virtual reality were just starting around the time that SAO started airing as an anime.
Oh yeah, because we got Excel World like a little bit right after, actually, as well.
Yeah, hashtag same timeline, but it's whatever. And I'm trying to remember there was a YouTuber who talked about it, like as far as like the whole success of SAO, as far as just how much it picked up, was a lot of the timing and stuff that's going around. And think of also like with ordinal scale, with augmented reality, what's one of the biggest things right now, or at least was one of the biggest things, Pokemon Go, type.
Right.
Type
Every day we get closer.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, you could build upon from there even further, but it's the fact of a lot of people just say the timing in which people are like, how many of you have seen Tron? Oh wait, sorry, a bridge series. But as far as like the stuff that was going on, and everyone's like, okay, this is some interesting stuff. Anime. Oh wow, this is the same topics. I don't know, just it's whatever. But carry on.
Well, I was gonna kind of segue off of that because I was gonna talk about when it could start to get popular. But I think. No, you're good. So for me, let me get my opinion first. I'm liking it, but I'm kind of leaning back towards the middle, because when I first saw it, I was getting back into anime. I was just like, I had my thing there, here and there, and then I was starting to get back into it. I'm like, this is some good stuff. Why is he getting really rapey with this young girl that is like really younger than her? Okay. Yeah.
To be fair, I think that's a larger anime in general
Honestly,
problem.
I stopped watching it after that because it kind of disgusted me. I was like, wait. Remember when this was about video games? Why is this dude here?
Yeah, that's what kind of turned me off from it. I finished it, but I was like, I'm kind of impartial.
Right.
But then Gun Gale picked me back up, and I was getting into it because I'm like, they're getting creative now. They're doing gun stuff. Oh, wow, they're actually going back and doing something without flying.
Yeah, I hear that from a lot of people that it picked up in the second series. I haven't watched it personally, but I have heard a lot of people liked it more
I liked
after that
Gun
terrible
Gale,
second.
it was a really cool like murder mystery type ordeal.
Okay.
And it felt like Kirito actually had a job to do instead of just, I'm just here to grind or survive, either or, not really a reason, but I'm the chosen one. Here it's like, he's the actual main character.
Yeah. When you were talking about the rapey thing, I thought you were talking about Gun Gale initially, and then you're like, and then I watched
No.
And I'm like, oh, he meant Asuna. Shit. Okay.
Well,
it
kind of got there at the end.
Too, right?
It kind of almost happened at the end.
Yeah,
but then Kirito, main character, busted through the door and them all.
Falcon beat him and
Leroy
murdered
Jenkins,
him.
Can't say it's a great sign that there's several instances of that you can't decide which.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's just, oh wait, you mean which time? Yeah.
But like, I like how like once they started doing the Zek and Yuki, like once they brought like Yuki and all that stuff in, getting more feelsy, like it was getting close to home. It was making you feel for the characters more, because they started that in the beginning of Sword Art. They're like, these are these characters, they're going through some shit. This is what's happening. Now you like them. They did the same thing. Then I don't want to spoil this for Cam, but I'm pretty sure
I don't give a shit, dude.
Okay. She dies from super future AIDS. Like, I like this girl. Cool. She's dead.
She dies from super future AIDS. What the hell, dude?
That's what we deemed it. Like, me, Timmy, and a couple other people deemed it super future AIDS.
I'm pretty sure I just said it's normal AIDS, but...
Well, okay, fine. Then me and E-Man said it was super future AIDS. Because I know what me and someone else...
I do remember mentioning that it was pretty quick how quick she died, but I mean, they kind of kept her... kept her, like... basically comatose in a video game throughout the surgery, so I mean, I guess that would accelerate the death, but
yeah.
But
hey, man, she got her quest done, so that's all that matters. And now she married Asuna, so it's Yuki.
Yeah.
Yuki.
That's pairing. What?
Not gonna lie with you, best pairing there. So we go from the mainstream like everyone knows this because it's English dub. People are going crazy over here because they've seen it English dub. And, there's the people that are like, I only watch dub. Oh, if it comes to dub, I'll watch it. Hey, look, Sword Art came to dub, and people watched it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that also kind of helped with it kind of exploding. Because it was like, yay! Then it started hitting like a stagnant point, then shot up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think.
Okay. So that's more of the mainstream stuff. You could even say Dot Hack's more of the mainstream stuff. So what would your examples of, the non-mainstream? Like what?
I would say like Log Horizon.
What about Overlord?
That would be another one. Yes.
Overlord would be a really good low-key one.
I hear people talk about Overlord a lot, but I never actually got the chance to watch it.
Billy, this is where you jump in. I don't know Overlord that well.
It needs a season 2 because I need to see more epicness.
And that's that.
That's it. That's all we got.
I will add to that just a little bit, but for the most part, yes, please give me a season 2. It takes a couple episodes to really get fully invested into it. Like, I usually try to give a series maybe 3 episodes or so. It took me about 4 or 5 to actually like legit get into, oh my goodness, this is actually really good. So it took about 5 episodes for it to actually get good, but when it got good, it got good. So but that's my take on that. It needs a season 2. So
And I would also put Spice and Wolf in the underrated category as well. I've seen a little bit and I'm reading it and I like it.
Once again, how is that an RPG?
Yeah, I'm with Billy here. I don't see how this fits in.
He's more talking about just like the genre. Like honestly, this is more of a fantasy talk than anything else. Honestly,
I mean,
it's going in between.
Bento would be more of an RPG because of the fighting element to it.
That's fair.
Keijo would be more of an RPG because of the fighting element to it.
I was about to reference whatever that podcast was. Like, you want to talk about Keijo?
Hashtag Keijo for Y Schwartz, please.
When?
I mean,
Wishy, please.
Okay. To go to an actual more of a we're playing a game type thing. Batum.
Then we'll go with Log Horizon.
I was getting ready to say Batum.
There. Oh, yeah, Batum. Yeah, Tim brought that up.
Batum. Yeah.
So. But let's stick with Log Horizon because I feel like we can talk about it considering it has 2 seasons and they left you for a 3rd, which I really want. But
there may be an issue with that.
Oh, please do tell.
2 separate animation companies for each season. There was issuing with that, which is why they made the whole costume change after the first couple episodes of the 2nd season. And I mean, I thought it would have just been them just deciding to tweak it a little bit. No, when I found out it was 2 different production companies for whatever reason that I don't even think that is on the internet. I don't check your Wikipedia articles. They had to completely do that, and just was 2 different animation teams. So I don't know where the copyrights are with right now.
Huh.
I mean, see, I'm gonna be kind of like the stick in the mud here. I could not get through Log Horizon. I honestly couldn't even get through the first episode. The people there angered me.
I'm with you.
Like, just because I kind of watched it slowly after I watched Sword Art, and I was like, wait a minute, these people are too calm to just find out they're about to die in this game. They're way too calm. They're like, whatever. We'll just keep playing and building this guild. I'm like, what? No, you're about to die. Do something. And then they fight this electric squirrel thing. I don't even remember what it was, but whatever it was, the animation was awful. It was like lightning was everywhere. It looked like an episode of Pokemon, honestly.
Yeah,
because the lightning blurred the screen, and I was like, I can't see what's going on.
I think it's a really interesting juxtaposition, Sword Art to Log Horizon, that part of the reason I couldn't get into Sword Art is just because all of the characters are super over the top, and they do things way more so than they should if they were real people, but Log Horizon is sort of the opposite.
Right.
Everybody is just sort of okay with everything that's happening, even though they very much shouldn't be. Yeah, I mean, I only got through a few episodes of it, and I just couldn't do it. I was bored out of my mind.
Yeah. To build a little bit upon that, like you said, there was people who were okay with it completely and totally because whereas people getting stuck in a game, the world became the game.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the characters later on stated, stated that they would be perfectly fine with the world the way it was because in the real world they were in a wheelchair.
Yep. And
right.
then main character Shiro and the little girl Akatsuki, they didn't really have really good lives. they did the mundane everyday thing, and this is a good change of pace for them, and they wouldn't mind staying either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, that thought process does just kind of make me question it, because it's like, I mean, sure, I'm not okay doing like an everyday mundane life thing either, but I don't want to get trapped in the game forever.
Well, the whole thing is they're working to get back, and then they find out they can't die, but they don't. They later on find out that every time they die, they lose memories of the real world.
Mm-hmm.
And
like,
so
better off. What if I get bored of the game at that point? Then what am I gonna do? Can't get out.
Well, they learn how to cook, like actually cook. They learn how to build trains. They literally get into it. They're like, this is what we got to do to survive. This is how we're going to get towards finding our way home.
I'm sorry, just the point that you made right there, I just want to point out, a bunch of otaku had to learn how to cook.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yes.
I mean, at least they got real life skills out of it. But
oh, yeah.
We do
because it was... They were basing off of skills, so like if people who had high cooking skills could actually make real food, like they kept the game elements in it while making it more realistic.
Shoutouts to the Ragu Rabbit. What?
Shoutouts to Sword Art Cooking. You just tap some lettuce with a knife. That thing is finely chopped.
Ding, ding, ding. Ah, my meal's ready to go. Let me throw it in the pot real quick.
Exactly.
I wonder what makes this S-class item so good. Takes the lid off the pot, it glows.
It just glows golden.
Beautiful! I will make so many abridged references, I'm sorry.
It's perfectly fine.
Hashtag the better series is if you watch the abridged. Don't even watch the original SAO. Like, as much as I enjoyed like reading the light novel, just watch the fucking abridged. You're good. You're straight.
Abridged is, I'm not gonna lie, abridged is way better.
We're working on season 2.
I can't wait.
It's worth the wait.
So can't wait.
Go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to take it. So, if you could make an ideal one, because some of you guys, like, you could get into Sword Art, but you couldn't get into Log Horizon. What's the in between that would get you in?
I don't know. Like, if you're gonna make the whole thing about you're trapped in the video game, at least make the characters care. That's all I cared about. At least make them feel like, we probably should try to get out of here. Like, that's the only thing that mattered to me, honestly. That's why Log Horizon, I just couldn't do it. I was like, these guys are too calm.
Well, yeah, I think the real problem is it's not the setting, you know. I mean, like, I've been playing JRPGs for 20 years or whatever, so like it's obviously pretty easy to sell me on, you know, an anime that's basically a JRPG. But I feel like the characterization is definitely the problem. Like there's definitely other examples that I'm sure we'll talk about that I like, which are, you know, basically the same as Sword Art and Log Horizon. Just, you know, I think the characters are well written, so.
Your turn.
Definitely.
Which one you say was next?
You.
Me?
Sure, the one has a dog.
Yeah, I just had to shoot my agreement there. That was basically it.
You're fine. Like, what would be the in-between type thing you mean? Like...
Yeah, the thing that would get you hooked.
To one or the other? Or...
Well, no, what would be... So, like, how they liked the Sword Art beginning, but they couldn't get into it, and then, like, some of them couldn't get into it, and then Log Horizon, 2 of the 4 people here could not get into it automatic.
Like, Log Horizon didn't have a 16.5, so automatically Ian kind of loses points.
Well, it's called fan fiction for a reason, Billy, okay?
I mean... Glass Garden, what? Anyway.
Hey!
Sorry, just shout-outs to, you know, Nozomi there. As far as, like, one, I've watched both. I've enjoyed both. I want them to continue both. Obviously, one of the things that they seemed to stick to was very catchy theme songs.
That they have for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Which, side note, different production companies, same opening song both times. Just saying. You know,
Well, if it's good, why get rid of it?
Right? I was actually perfectly content with them using the database for the second season too. I was like, okay, cool. Okay, but no, as far as like, I can't really say what would like get me into it because I am into both. I do I do like both. I admit they were way too fucking calm at the beginning of Log Horizon, but the fact that they did kind of settle down and go, okay, everyone's basically trying to like, trying to just, you know, constantly take advantage of everything going on, robbing other players and shit. Okay, well, they don't die. Well, they're going to come back. I'm going to rob them again. Okay, whatever. And they did try to bring a certain order, quote unquote, to the cities that they were in and try to actually get people organized. And I like that they did do that. But once again, also because a lot of the times it's, oh, well, shit, something happened to the real world. We need to immediately bounce home. They didn't exactly go that route. They're like, okay, let's find out what happened first.
Well, and in the defense of Log Horizon, some of the people they show in the beginning freaking out, like, where's the manager? Where is the admins? Where is this? Where's that? They weren't all calm. There were people freaking out.
Yeah. I mean, like, Shiro.
Yeah, but those weren't, like, the focus of the, anime, though. They were just random standbys. No one cares about them.
Now somebody didn't give a shit as long as he got to hit something with the fucking shield.
Or, Pantsu. Well, one of those.
But, on the other hand, Kirito had, a mental breakdown. Asuna was kind of just well, gotta get out of here. Klein is honest, crap, I gotta go find my friends so that way they don't freak out, or we can freak out together. Asuna, and then Gil's well, I'm just gonna run a shop so that way I can carry this one guy to victory so we can get out of here quickly. But still.
You find why Asuna was content with everything. Yeah. I don't blame her for being content. Just throw it out.
I mean, yeah. But she's just the one character who's content. And even then, she really wasn't content. But she was it's still kind of better. But
it's better than out there.
Agreed, because, okay, part 4, after Gun Gale, the Mother Rosario arc focused on her, and it showed how much she didn't like the stuff that was going on, although, arranged marriages and shit that were going on. And she's just no, I just would rather go back into the game and just, be perfectly content there. Fuck real life is literally what she kind of got to. And she got to a point.
It took all the way to there for us to see it. It wasn't just it wasn't the main focus kind of thing,
Exactly. Yeah. So, it was stuff that was there, but yeah, it took a while.
Now, do you wish to see more movies out of any specific genre? Not genre, any specific anime that's underrated or just doesn't have the movie support? I wouldn't mind some more Sword Art, because Ordinal Scale I actually really liked, even though some people tend to hate it.
I'm sure that's a pretty safe bet that we'll get some more Sword Art support. It's basically printing money,
Yeah. Because some people were like, "This is just nonsense. This was nothing really important." And then
at this point, they're not doing anything important. They don't need to.
No, Billy, and Matt talked about it after the movie. They're segueing into Excel World.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're not having to do anything mind-breaking like the other seasons. They just gotta kind of slowly segue into Excel World.
Yeah, it's because if I remember correctly, the things that happen in SAO and specifically SAO, not Gun Gale and all that.
Yeah, not any of the other stuff.
Is 20 years before the events that happen in Excel World, if I remember the timelines correctly. So it's kind of that going from how did we get from Nerve Gear to Brain Burst and the in between there. So that's basically what they're building towards. Yeah. Because if you go back and watch Excel World, Basta Link. They make references, and there's trying to go back further, and it's oh, what the hell's the Nerve Gear type thing? The main dude actually has to look that shit up. And as far as with Ordinal Scale, it basically showed at the very end of the movie. You always watch after the credits. Avengers taught us this.
Yep.
The fucking continuation of it is going to be interesting, mostly because I don't know if the next the next arc, quote unquote, that's in SAO, I don't know if it's finished yet in the light novel, mostly because by about the time I got halfway through the stuff that was translated online for that, copyrights and everything got taken down online. So I don't know where they're at right now.
Ouch.
Yeah, I know. Sad.
And I will say, since we mentioned Excel World, I would like to point out that I really loved Excel World for the main character wasn't just some spiky haired teenage he was already buff. I loved the fact that he was just some tiny fat kid who just doesn't. He kind of just didn't know what he wanted to do with life. I loved that. I was like, that's so unique. He's not just some 15-year-old dude who's ripped to me,
Yeah, and like I said earlier, I think that's what matters is making characters that are relatable, but also real
I
people.
watched it just because I was like, this is so different. I have to watch this, and then I actually really loved Excel World for everything it offered, but like I mainly him.
It's like Kuroko no
And his avatar wasn't just some like edgy guy with a sword. Like, yeah, it's my video game avatar. His avatar was just a pig that played like racquetball.
Bro, that's the best kind of avatar they could be.
And I was like, wow, this dude's neat.
No, it's like a Kuroko no Basket where they're like middle schoolers or high schoolers or whatever, and they look like NBA, like the size of normal NBA players, and it's like, why are you like this huge? So in Japan.
Well, that's a whole different topic for another thing. So do you guys recommend any RPG animes or anything along that line? If so, give a description for the people who are listening. I'll start with Cameron.
Sorry, I sort of.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I have a couple that haven't been mentioned just because. I mean, some more popular than others, but I would be remiss if I did not mention ReZero, which is really popular right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think falls into that same category.
It does.
Not technically RPG, but it isn't isekai. Super.
Not actually a
to another
game,
world or
but
whatever.
it is same.
It's very inspired in that way.
Right.
And that's a show that I really like. Which is surprising because this, like I said, this genre should appeal to me, but not a whole lot of them have really stuck with me. But I really enjoyed ReZero a lot, if only for I think that Subaru is a really, really well written character. And everyone hates Subaru. Like, you're supposed to hate Subaru. He's a real scumbag.
I'll give you that. Everyone, you're supposed to hate him, and I do.
Like, you don't like Subaru. Nobody does, but like that's the point.
But that's his character, so
right? Which I think he's super well written. So yeah, I like ReZero a lot. I also like things that are a little bit on the darker side. And ReZero obviously fits that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, one of the greatest things ever. I'm sorry, once again, building the whole thing of Subaru, his whole mental freaking breakdown was just really so well thought out, to be completely honest. Like, I don't even care if this triggers anyone.
Oh, no, like...
No, you're completely right.
Yeah,
I think
it was brought out.
It's a really it's a realistic portrayal of what would happen to a person if they were put into this super unrealistic situation.
Right.
He acts like any loser otaku would. I mean, I'm sure I would be just as big of a scumbag as he is if I was transported.
And
into
I will
this.
say, like half of his decisions, even though I hate them, if I went through his death scenario 1,500 times, I'd be like, I'm about to start making stupid decisions. Maybe they're the correct decisions.
Exactly. He has that.
This girl just opened her heart to me. I'll say no. Obviously, she might kill me if I said yes.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason, it led him to the right direction.
Right, for sure. So yeah, I like
hated it.
A lot. I think it's definitely worth checking out.
It is. It's actually pretty good for what.
Other things worth mentioning. We talked about No Game, No Life earlier, which is a show I like a lot, but that doesn't require a whole lot of explanation because I feel like that's sort of something that just about everyone who watches
basically really OP guy decides he wants to try to beat God at a game, and
with his OP sister.
Exactly, with his OP little sister that just loves him and only him.
Yeah, I could do without the incest lolicon stuff
like the creepy.
in it. But,
it started to get creepy after a minute.
If you put that aside, I think it's totally worth watching. Something that was on a couple of seasons ago, which not a lot of people watched, which was sort of upsetting because I thought it was really good. Did you guys watch Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash a couple seasons ago?
Say that, yes.
I heard of it. I never got around
now, actually.
I think Grimgar is really, really good.
It's pretty good.
Really good. The way that they introduced it was a little weird though, because I say weird because okay, like I mentioned before, going back to Log Horizon, where they said every time they died, they lost more of their memories of their previous life. These people are brought in from obviously our timeline.
Right.
Their memories are erased immediately of their previous life. All they know is like their fucking name, if I remember correctly. And
yeah.
And they're just tossed into this fantasy setting where it is the whole, we have roles of, who's a Dark Knight.
Yeah, Ronta's my dude.
Yeah, bro. I wanted to punch him in the face sometimes. At the same time, he had his moments. Like it brought out the whole classes like they did with Konosuba. It brought out all the skills and the transfers of working out those skills and whatnot. And it delved a lot into that. But the premise of just immediately all of our memories are gone. We're just going to be living in this world now. I'm going, why the fuck were they brought there to begin with? It just, that part did not get explained to me, and that's why it was kind of weird. But I still loved the series. It was beautiful. Oh my god.
I like a lot that they don't really explain the origin story, but they sort of like they put really subtle hints in the show about it. I know it's an ongoing light novel, and I have not read them, so I'm not sure what happens in the future. But like I feel like they're sort of inching that out as the show goes on. I really hope that gets another season, but like I said, not a whole lot of people watched it from what I know, so I don't know how well it did. But yeah, I like Grimgar a lot. And then the last one that I want to mention on my long list of me rambling, I'm good at rambling,
You're fine, dude.
Yeah, you're good, man.
I rambled for a bit myself. We can't say shit.
We all kind of ramble a little bit.
Well, you got to fill the dead air on a podcast. But the last one is Danmachi, which is the English translation is really stupid, which is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon, which is a really terrible name. And if I'm being honest, I did not watch it for quite a while just because the name was so off-putting, because it just sounds like some terrible harem anime. And I mean, it is sort of a harem anime, but
it's not really at the same time.
Falls into the sort of the same boat as Konosuba, where it's it's this RPG setting, but it's more of a comedy than it is a serious thing. I guess more serious than Konosuba, which is just like almost purely a comedy. But I think the characters again are super well written. I think Belle and Hestia are just super endearing, and I really enjoyed that show. I don't know if you guys have. I haven't watched nearly all of I think it's still currently airing the spin-off Sword Aura
it finished
or something.
It's basically it finished. It was like 12 or 13 episodes.
Right.
It was basically just showing Aiza's perspective on
which
that was hers. Yeah.
I watched a couple episodes and I was like actually really disappointed because the reason that I liked Danmachi was the characters that were the central focus of the first show, and I think Aiza is just like hideously boring as a protagonist. So I'm gonna finish it just because I like the series so much, but like
just have closure. I got you.
Yeah.
All right, Billy, you're up next.
I'm only gonna have one recommendation, only because I watched this. I'm trying to remember the 2010. I think I saw this. So this is actually kind of
throwback.
It's an old one.
Does anyone the game that this anime is? The anime was like 2009, 2010. The game that this is from is even further back than that. There's a game called The Tower of Druaga, and they made an anime based off of it. So this is actually made straight based off of an RPG, in which you basically made your way up this tower, and if you died, you had to start back at the fucking beginning. And you had to work your way up and work as far as through this thing, and you had to go through basically with one life. That was the premise of the game. They made 2 seasons of an anime off of it, called Druaga, the Aegis of Uruk, and Druaga, the Sword of Uruk, because Aegis is a shield. So one was like the Shield of Uruk and the Sword of Uruk. Both were presented very well, still with the whole RPG elements of character roles and whatnot. Like, okay, your main dude was a guardian and whatnot, and built upon from there. And it's one that I don't think I've gone to conventions. I don't think I've ever seen anyone cosplay anything from it, because it was one of those weird, like you really had to search the internet for. Like it was weird that I even found it, to be completely honest. But
I mean, like I'm not omniscient, but like I know a lot of anime, and I've literally never heard of that. So,
if I can find a link or whatever to it, I'll send it to you.
That sounds awesome.
It's pretty decent. Like I said, the premise for it was a little bit weird, but once you got to watching it, it was like, oh, okay. Also, you have to get past the first episode. The first episode was literally just like the dude got knocked out, was dreaming like some weird ass fever dream the whole time. So the second episode is actually where the story starts. But it was
interesting.
It was really weird because I'm going, what the fuck is going on here? But then actually it got into the serious element of it. I'm like, oh, they were just fucking around the first episode. Okay, cool. But so the first episode is not canon. It was some weird shit. That's the only like real like one that I can throw out there that people may have not heard of. I'm honestly still going through my my external hard drive trying to look for stuff, but I will leave that as my my add-on. So,
okay,
Timmy.
What about you, good sir, Mr. Freelancer?
Well, everyone kind of already said what I was thinking, but there was one that I've been searching for the past like 20 minutes because I needed to figure out what the name of this anime was. But have any of you heard about Problem Children Are Coming from Another World, Aren't They?
I made this reference earlier, so yes.
The name is familiar. I've literally never watched the show though.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Great.
It's the second season.
It
What's
does.
the Japanese name for it?
Oh boy, it's long.
Isekai.
Yeah, Mondai Jitachi Gag Isekara Karakuru so desu yo.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's why I was like, this sounds familiar.
Well, it literally has isekai in the name, so it has to fit into the category.
I actually found it. I just found it going through my stuff. Mondai Jitaichi ga Isekai Karakuru desu yo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But for those who don't know, it's just about 3 kids who are like really OP because they're all like psychics. So they get this envelope that transports them to this world where they just go and gamble against God. It's great.
Pretty
Sounds
accurate,
awesome.
Strangely enough.
Well, for me, there's one. Tim, what was the name of the one anime we were watching?
Don't worry, I'm looking for that one too.
You know, he knows what I'm talking about. We'll get back to it. But it's basically about these people. They're playing this online game. They don't get transported into it or anything.
I know what you're talking
but they're
about.
playing it, and then one of them, there's like a couple in it, and then they meet up in real life, and then they're just like,
what was it called?
Yeah, that one.
I know what you're
me and
talking
Tim
about.
got like 6 episodes in, and we forgot to keep up with it.
I watched the entirety of it. It was really, really weird.
We were laughing, so we liked it. But there's 2 serious recommendations I'm going to go with. One, I still recommend Log Horizon. If you want something that's more the how to deal with the situation and how to make light of it and make like life easier for everyone, I would say go to Log Horizon because they deal with the politics of it pretty much, how to work the system in the favor of the people, how to actually eat food, like I said before, and like how to deal with everything and how to take care of your people. And then I have the light of the situation, Konosuba. I actually recommend Konosuba. And it's a good laugh. If you want something funny, not too serious, it's true, it has like its serious moments during like the fights. But besides that, it's mostly comedy, and you can get a good laugh out of it while enjoying the art, like the design and art of it.
I found
Kyle.
it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's called "And You Thought There's Never a Girl Online."
Bam, that one.
Netoge no Yome wa Onna Noko Janai to Omota. It is a long title.
Come here for white dudes speaking broken Japanese.
Exactly.
Yeah, pretty much. So
Arigato gozaimasu.
Asu. Alright. So I think this is near the tail end. I feel like we're at the 45-minute mark. I'm not really sure. So we're going to use these last little bit of minutes. Do you guys have any closing remarks on this? Any yes or no's? Don't watch this. Do part of it because we gave our recommendations. So
I can trigger everyone listening like right
All right,
now.
do it.
I want you to do it.
You won't.
Emilia or Rem?
Amelia,
Wow.
100%.
I'm very
Felix.
sorry. I am on the opposite side of that.
Ah,
He chose
no.
Felix. I'm sorry.
I choose Felix.
That's fine.
But see, I'm not the type of person to get triggered off of that because I'm like, okay, cool, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I like all of the characters in that show, obviously, except for Subaru. So, like, I don't care what your opinion is, but, like, Amelia is best girl, in case you were wondering.
There you go.
Just in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
Just he's like.
I heard Ram was an option. I heard Ram.
Just.
There's some of that in my
Old man
computer.
Rom, what?
I mean, to be fair, I find like not that many people actually liking Ram. Then again, like I really don't even think she had a character, so she didn't do
was just
much.
there.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what happens when you
that's
get your
Billy.
Then again, that's
That
coming
was
from
my-
me.
that
I
was
like the
my
girl
thing.
that had two 5-minute sections in an episode, so because I enjoyed Priscilla's company and I don't know why.
So, Timmy, do you have any triggering statements? Any
No.
final closing remarks with the category that we talked about today?
Not necessarily. Nothing that's triggering, but basically watch everything we listed at the end.
Yeah, that's a pretty good statement. Go watch
And then,
Grimgar.
leave a comment down below and tell us how you felt about those situations and those things. And
Hey, there you go. You got to hit your YouTube pillars, like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, I don't even have to do it. Just people plugging for me. That's what I like to hear.
I didn't say like or subscribe. I just said you can comment down below. You don't have to like this video or subscribe to it, actually.
Ouch.
Actually, dislike the videos.
Go on there, dislike my own video. Click. All right, there we go. All
It
right.
turns Kyle on greatly. Just, you know.
He's like the darkness for YouTube. You know, you dislike it, and he's like, yes, exactly.
Everybody's got their kink.
Yeah, this is true. We're not kink shaming here. I mean, we could, but, you know, we won't.
I guess I should give my closing remarks, I guess. So, thank you all for being here. We do appreciate it. We do. I mean, I appreciate coming and talking to people with some good opinions and people who shut me down like 5 seconds into the podcast. You know,
well, when you label Psychopaths as an RPG, I will shut you the fuck down. Yes.
I was trying to find you the video that did that. And I only found one, so I really wanted to see what you guys are saying. I got to go back and find the video that puts it under there,
so that I can like copyright strike them for some reason and just be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Yes. But please check out Contains Anime. The link will be in the description below. This guy has an amazing setup in his room, which is beautiful. He does box openings and all this other cool stuff. Check out Base Damage, which we talk about Y Schwartz and anime-related stuff, along with other card games, which we are working on.
And we reference Base Damage in just about everything we do.
Essentially.
Exactly. You know, because it's like we do that a lot or something. I don't know. So... thank you all for watching, and we will see you all next time.
Peace.
Johnny.